My friends, this is diligent home-style apple pie. Why? I combine all the ingredients in a tray, and during baking it creates its own layers. It's simple to make, ready in less than half an hour plus baking time, and it's also vegan. Anyone can make it. And just look how fine and juicy it is. To start, we need 1.5 kilograms of apples. Choose apples that are more sour, as they release more juice. And their taste is also better later in the cake. We wash the apples, then peel them. Then we grate the apples. After grating the apples, we add 1 glass of sugar. This is a 200 milliliter glass, usually for water. And we add 200 grams of ground walnuts. You can also add cinnamon if you like. We like it, so I'm adding this 110-gram packet. And now I mix it all together. After I mix everything, I let the apples sit for 10-15 minutes to release the juice. And I will prepare the other ingredients in the meantime. Now I take the same glass we used to measure the sugar, and I measure the flour. I measure 3 of these glasses. Then I add 10 grams of baking powder. And now I mix it all together. Then I take the glass again and measure 1 full 200 milliliter glass of sugar. The next thing I'm measuring is semolina. We need 2 of these glasses. And finally, I add semolina 2 full glasses. If you have a smaller tray than mine is 35 by 25 centimeters, and you want to make this pie, don't put 3 full glasses of flour, put 2. And the pie will be just as good as if you made it in a large tray. When I add all these ingredients to the bowl, we mix them well to combine. And the apples have rested just enough. I will pour in 1 full glass, or rather 200 milliliters of water, and I will mix everything well. I add water so there's enough liquid to absorb these dry ingredients, and so we don't have those dry floury parts in the cake. If the apples have even less juice, you can add another half a glass, but I don't recommend more than that. Then we take 3 bowls. They don't have to be the same. Mine are the same because it looks nicer in the video. And we take a ladle like this and divide this whole mixture into 3 parts. If you have a scale, you can measure it. And this way you get 3 roughly equal parts. You take a 35 by 25 centimeter tray and grease it well with margarine. Here, the bottom of the tray is 35 by 25. If your tray is smaller, put 1 glass of flour less. Now pour 1 of this mixture into the tray evenly like this. Where there isn't any, spread it with your hand, so that it's all fine. Evenly, so it's not dry in some places and too wet in others. Okay, now we take the mixture of apples, walnuts and cinnamon and put half of it on top. Put a little bit everywhere like this, so you can spread it more easily over this dry part later. so you don't lift it up too much when spreading. When you spread it, tap everything like this rather than pulling, as you usually do with cream. Now I pour the second part on top. Now for the second layer, you can spread it with a wooden spoon like this. You could have done that with the first part too, I just didn't think of it. It didn't have to be done by hand, although you can. And that would be it, as far as this part is concerned. Now we put the apples again. For the end, I take 250 grams of margarine. I also grease the bottom with this margarine, and I'm ecking it all over the top like this. Now when I finish this, I will turn on the oven to preheat to 180 degrees Celsius. While the oven has preheated, the cake has rested a bit, and now I'm taking it to bake. When the cake is baked, let it cool completely. Bake it for 40 to 45 minutes. Or rather, until you get this golden brown color. When you put the cake to bake, you will see that the margarine will all melt. It needs to cover the entire surface of the cake. If that doesn't happen, you have to take the cake out and then lift the left or right side a little like this, so that the margarine goes everywhere. The cake needs to cool so it doesn't crumble. So it sets nicely and these squares can be cut nicely. I always try to cut these squares evenly, but they never turn out as they should, precisely because I try. When I make a regular cake on a regular day, however I cut it, it's perfect. That would be it. Bake the cake for 40 minutes or until this golden brown color. The margarine on top needs to melt completely, covering the surface. Let the cake cool completely and only then serve it. Look at mine. While it was cooling, they ate half the tray. Now I have to show you a corner piece. It looks fantastic. Look, juicy and fine and soft. Wonderful. Enjoy.